Welcome to the Contrail product demo series. Today we are going to show you how to scale your cloud across multiple data centers. The new generation of cloud infrastructure is often built over a virtualized data center that spans across multiple geographically distributed physical data center locations to pool and maximize global resources. Since the introduction of virtualized data centers, the ability to move workload within and across physical data centers has been the holy grail of data center architecture designs. The benefits are obvious. Workload mobility can facilitate flexible deployment of applications for high availability, disaster avoidance and recovery, and optimal server resource distribution purposes. The existing data center technologies to achieve workload mobility have been complex and disruptive. It normally requires a lot of planning and coordination, but still can result in application downtime. One of the challenges has been the data center network, which is still largely physical, rigid, and requires manual configurations. Network virtualization, orchestration, and automation, enabled by software-defined networking technologies, promise to make the network responsive to dynamic changes in a much more agile manner. But not all SDN solutions have been created equal. The ability to scale virtual network across physical data centers vary greatly among different SDN controllers. Juniper Contrail was designed from the ground up to simplify the secure extension of virtual networks and policies across geographically distributed data centers, a key feature to enable true workload mobility. In this demo, we are going to show you two use cases. The first is to establish reachability between virtual machines in the same virtual network spanning two different data centers. We have configured two Contrail clusters in two different physical data centers. There are multiple ways for the two data center gateway routers to talk to each other and exchange routes, and in this demo, we are using Juniper MX routers configured to be eBGP peers. In Data Center 1, we have created a virtual network called Blue, with a route target of 64,200:40,000 and IP subnet of 172.168.200.0-24. Then we launch a virtual machine inside the Blue virtual network, Blue DC1 VM2, with IP address of 172.168.200.252. Now we go to Data Center 2. Note that we have created the same virtual network Blue with the same route target, but the IP subnet 172.168.0.0/24 needs to be different from the Blue virtual network in Data Center 1 to avoid address overlap. We instantiate a virtual machine in this Blue network called Blue DC2 VM2, which is assigned an IP address of 172.168.0.252. On each of the MX gateway routers, I've configured VRFs matching the route target of the Blue virtual network. Now if I go to my virtual machine in Data Center 1 and issue a ping to the IP address of my virtual machine in Data Center 2, my ping goes through and my two virtual machines in two different data centers can communicate with each other just the same as if they were on the same server. The second use case we are going to show here is to extend policies between two virtual networks, each spanning two different data centers. Here we have two-tier application with web tier and database tier running in two different virtual networks in the two Contrail clusters respectively. In Data Center 1, I launched a web tier virtual machine called DC1 Web1 with IP address of 192.168.200.253. And in Data Center 2, I launched a database tier virtual machine called DC2DB2 with IP address of 192.168.0.250. These two virtual machines are in two different virtual networks with two different route targets. I have also configured network policies to allow any traffic to pass between web tier and database tier virtual networks. Now, if I go to the web tier virtual machine DC1 Web1 and issue a ping to the database tier virtual machine DC2 DB2, the pings can go through and I have successfully extended my policy across multiple data centers. Thank you so much for your interest today, and we hope you found this helpful.